In this video, I'll show you a simple way of drawing a PNR or point of no return line using the Think or Swim platform. Unfortunately, Tastyworks doesn't have advanced charting capabilities like Think or Swim, so I'm not aware of any way of doing that in Tastyworks. So for users of other platforms, I would just recommend to use the spread tracker to keep an eye on PNR alerts. In this video, I'll not go into what PNR is because the case study that we have shared with you goes into plenty detail of what PNR is, how to draw the lines, how it works, and all that stuff. So let's switch to Think or Swim first. So I've pulled up a chart on HD. In fact, today is January 11th, and we took a trade on HD today, which is the 385 390 call spread. So we'll just use that as an example to draw the PNR. So I've pulled up HD. Now one thing you will notice is this is 111 on the chart at the bottom if you see the date, 111. So our trades are 30 days out in the future. So for us to draw the the PNR, it needs to project a line into the future. And by default, Think or Swim doesn't have any space here to draw that line. It just stops at the current day. So we just need to change certain settings, and that way we'll have more room to draw our line. And these the space on the right, up or top can all be adjusted, and these are called expansion areas in Think or Swim. So to do that, if you click on this settings icon, chart settings, you will be brought to this screen. Go to price axis first, and you will see that it says expansion area percentage up and percentage down. So I recommend that you use 10% up and 10% down. So what that will do is it'll give you enough space at the top and bottom so that you will not have any problems fitting that PNR line in this chart. So that's one. Then you need to go to time axis, and you see there's an expansion area here too. It says bars, number of bars to the right. So one bar represents one day since we look at daily charts. If you're looking at hourly charts, it'll be 1 hour. But if you just change this to 30 and click apply, what that'll do is you'll notice that it gave you all this blank area which represents the future. So now you can draw your PNR line starting from here all the way to your expiration date, wherever that is. And then finally, this particular setting has nothing to do with PNR, but Thinkorswim is a really slow platform. It's built on Java and it takes a lot of memory. So one thing I've noticed from my experience is if you just keep this setting off, highlight studies on hover, this really makes a difference in speeding up Thinkorswim. So click OK. So now we are back at this screen. So now let's start working on drawing the PNR line. So first, let's go back to um, the PNR method document, and third section has the PNR equation. So the PNR equation is long strike minus long strike times days left to expiration times ATR divided by 2000. So let's figure out these numbers. So I'm switching back to the spread tracker, and let me also pull up a notepad so we can write this down. So PNR equal to long strike for HD is 385 minus again long strike times days to expiration. It shows you 31 days, 31 times ATR. So we need to find the ATR real quick for HD. And what you can do is, this is a different desktop I'm using, so I don't have the columns here. But if you click on this in your watch list, this settings icon, and customize, you can actually add ATR here. So it just shows you ATR for all your symbols. Also, I don't know if you remember this, I had created a column called earnings date for our group. You should keep these two added in your watch list. So that way you can quickly glance at the ATR and also the when the earnings are coming up. In fact, sometimes what I do is when I'm looking for trades, I'll simply sort it by earnings date. And let's say today is 11, so I'll then go to my watch list and I'll start from any stocks after 215. So that we have more than 1 month. So then I'll start looking down this list to see if there are any trade setups. That cuts down some time. So anyway, let's go back to sorted by symbol HD. Go back to HD. So HD has a ATR. This is the ATR column of 847. Okay, so 847. Now remember, if you read the PNR document, if the ATR is greater than 10, then you need to just put the number 10 there. And in our watch list, you will find several examples of high ATR stocks. So if you just sort by ATR, you will see we have some Amazon 84 ATR, Shopify 71 ATR. So we have a lot of stocks with really high ATRs. In those cases, just put 10 there. Okay, so now we found the ATR. This divided by 2000, and this is our equation. So let's find the PNR value first. Select this equation, and I'm lazy, I just use Google as my calculator. Just paste the equation here and it'll just find a value for you. So the PNR is 334. Let's round it off. Okay, so PNR is 334. So we have that number. Now, what does the document say how to draw the PNR lines in your charts? So it says draw a vertical line at the opening date, which is today, and then another at the closing date. So let's switch to Thinkorswim. This is 111, the opening date, which is today. So if you go to this section called drawings in Thinkorswim, let me collapse this watch list. Okay, so drawings, and then there are several drawing tools here. I would recommend just use trend line as a tool. And then first thing you need to do is click somewhere here on 111 and go down, and at some point just leave it. That will draw a line at the opening date. Now the expiration for this is 211, right? 211, yeah, expiry 211. So we need to find, look at the bottom, all the dates are here, 2, 9, 10, 11. So let's start at 211 and draw a line here. So these are our two vertical bars. Okay, what does the document say next? Next, calculate the PNR, which we have already done. We know there are 32 days between open and close, 8 years for. Okay, so we found the PNR. Then draw a diagonal line from the PNR on the opening day to short strike at 0 DTE. So we need to draw this diagonal line now. So our PNR is 334. Okay, so let's go here And if you go up and down, you will see the price on the right side. You can see where the price is. We need to go to 334. 334. Okay. So you'll notice that it's not exact. It's showing 334.48, but we'll fix it in a bit. So let's start here and take it to 0 GTE to the short strike. So it's the the spread is 385, 390. Okay. So sorry, let's go back again. 385, 390. So we need to go to the short strike, which is 390. Okay, let's stop here. That draws your PNR line. So if you right click on this line, edit properties, you can tweak it further. So it's, it wasn't exact 334. So let's just, it says begin point value. Let's change it to 334, and end point value. Let's change it to the exact short strike. And if you want, you can, customize the color and all that stuff. Let's just make it blue, and we can change all of these to make them blue as well. Okay. So this is your line in the sand where if HD drops below this at any time during the trade window, that should alert you that this trade could potentially become a loser. You will notice that as expiration approaches, the range, the allowed range that HD can drop keeps shrinking. I really like to have this as a visual all the time. And the nice thing about Think or Swim is that now if I switch to, let's say, some other chart, AVGO, and switch back to HD, it remembers all my drawings. So once you draw it, it's there. So that's a really nice feature. You don't have to draw it over and over again. So that's how you draw PNR in Thinkorswim. In the next section, I'll show you the indicator that I have developed, which automatically plots this line for you. Okay, so in the previous section, I showed you how to draw the PNR lines yourself. In this section, I'll just go through the Thinkorswim study or indicator that I have developed, which will draw it for you automatically. This indicator is available to all active subscribers for $25. It's a paid indicator, and you don't have to buy it because I just showed you how to draw the lines yourself. But if you're lazy like me and you don't mind spending $25, then this is the way to go about it. So once you have installed the indicator, and if you purchase the indicator, we'll send you the instructions on how to install it. It's actually really simple. You would just click on setup and open shared item, and the URL that we give you, just paste it there, preview it, and import it. That's it. It's really as simple as that. So once you have done that part, uh, you would go to studies, this icon, studies, and then if you look for PNR, the indicator will show up like this: PNR study 25K challenge, unless you rename it to something else. So just double click that and add it here. So this is how it will show up. So if you click on settings for this, this is where you can customize it. So before I go into the settings, I just have to tell you this, that as you know, I'm a computer programmer myself. Thinkorswim's programming language is extremely restrictive and primitive. So there is not much control over what you can do. So we tried our best to work within the constraints of Thinkorswim and develop that. And I'll point out what the constraints are. So when you pull up that customized settings screen, it'll show up like this. So by default, it will let you add up to 10 symbols representing 10 trades where it will draw the line for the PNR for you. So if you notice, there's this inputs and options section. It says symbol one. It comes with some default trades, which is what you need to override with your own trades. Symbol one, in this case, snow. In fact, we have a trade on snow. Symbol long strike for symbol one, short strike for symbol one, date opened. Um, so if you notice, this is not a, you have to type the date yourself in YYYY format. Thinkorswim doesn't let you have a date picker. So in this case, it is 2022 January 01 and 5th January 05. So if you have to type your date in this format. So date open date and date expiring. So these are the only thing you need to type. So snow, this is symbol 2, NVIDIA, symbol 3, 4, 5, you'll see that it keeps on going to symbol 10. And you can customize the colors if you like. I would just leave it at blue, which is fine. You can choose all these customization settings. I, I just like the way it comes. So let's confirm that we have the right settings for snow so we can see it in action. We have a trade on snow, um, 300, 305 call spread. So 300, 305, okay, that's right. Um, the expiration is 2424 and it was opened on 5th January. Okay, this is right. So we already have snow in here. So let's just click OK and click apply. So one thing I want to point out is the due to performance reasons, I limited the study to only 10 symbols because I wasn't sure if it would crash Thinkorswim or slow it down drastically. But if you, for some reason, you have 20 trades, you want to enter all the trades in Thinkorswim, you could add another PNR study like this and customize this to add to for the next 10 symbols that you have. So that's a workaround if you want more than 10 symbols. So let's just keep to the default, click OK. And now let's pull up snow. So now if you notice, I just pulled up snow and it automatically plots the PNR line for me. So this is your start. This is the date when we opened it. This is the date of expiration. And it has drawn this line for you. It calculated the PNR. It knows the ATR. It's even showing you the details of your spread in a tooltip, the strikes and how much time left to expiration. So let's pull up what else. What did we have here? I think we had NVIDIA and Adobe. Okay, let's pull up NVIDIA. There you go. That's the NVIDIA spread, and that's the Adobe spread. So that's how easy it is. I think it's a great time saver, and drawing the PNR yourself, I think is really good if you want to understand how PNR is, why does it even work. So once you go through that exercise of finding out the ATR, finding out the PNR, drawing the line, then at the end of it, you will know how you'll understand how it works. But once you are past that understanding phase, then it can become a hassle if you want to keep drawing the same lines over and over again. So if you want, you can always purchase this from us. Just send an email to support@25koptionschallenge.com and type PNR method in the subject, and we will automatically deduct $25 from your account and we'll send you the indicator in your email.